in the driver's seat with constitutionally mandated authority to pursue my vision and my priorities. So what do I want to do in terms of vision and priorities and policies if you give me the opportunity by the grace of God to become President of the Republic of Ghana? As Vice President, I am like a driver's mate. But by the grace of God, if you make me the President, I will be in the driver's seat with constitutional... I will be in the driver's seat with constitutionally mandated authority to pursue my vision and my priorities. So what do I want to do in terms of vision and priorities and policies if you give me the opportunity by the grace of God to become President of the Republic of Ghana? With cuts in government expenditure, the private sector undertaking expenditure that would normally be done by government, and the new tax regime, the flat tax regime, that will enhance compliance, broaden the tax base, and increase tax revenue. With these policies, the situation we are going to face in 2025 is going to be very different from the situation we faced in 2020 and 2022. With the policy measures implemented so far, we have outperformed the IMF fiscal deficit target of 5% by attaining a fiscal deficit target of 4.2% in 2023. The new policies that I am proposing to implement in 2025 will give us the fiscal space to eliminate some taxes, such as the proposed VAT on electricity, if they are still on the books, the emissions tax, and the betting tax, without compromising our fiscal deficit.
Thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before I go on to other important matters, please let me state my understanding of where we are as a country, as a nation, and the implications of what lay ahead. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is elitism masquerading as intellectualism. It is weakness strutting as courage, and crony capitalism masked as development in freedom. It is shameless hypocrisy pretending to be objective. These will never move our country forward. Rather, the most significant achievement of all these has been a country in near insolvency. Its natural resources such as water, land, and even the environment in rebellion. A people harassed and intimidated into numbness, and as some will say cynically, some of us also bribed into silence. I envisage a report on the administration of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on the ticket of the NDC in his reign 2013 to early 2017. And I bet that the report will have no reference to the following: a multi-million dugout. I don't know about you, but the image I get looking at that hole is a trench in utter shock that anyone could believe it was intended as a Thanksgiving gift to the Almighty, invisible, God only wise. You will not find in his record a free SHS at war. The battle fought on the grounds of food, shelter, space, even calendar, teaching and learning materials, or those who spend a couple of weeks in school and many months at home just idling by. You will not find past questions instead of textbooks and science equipment. You will not find an atmosphere that suppresses learning. You will not find free water and electricity to a few that has turned out to be most expensive for everyone. Such a report will not find COVID money shared for partisan political campaign purposes. And all of this done when people were dying and they needed just a little bit of help. You will not find in his term an Ejapa-like manifesto. You will not find him as president.
The government of Ghana has made a strategic decision in line with the Public-Private Partnership Act 2020 to procure the Accra-Tema Motorway and Extensions project through GIF, with a mandate to deliver a GIF-led PPP financing solution where maximum funds are raised from the market, but majority ownership of the project remains of GIF on behalf of the Ghanaian government. The draft concession agreement between GIF, the Ministry of Roads and Highways, is currently under review by GIF, Ministry of Roads and Highways, the Office of the Attorney General, and the Ministry of Finance. When completed, the concession agreement is expected to be approved by the PPP Committee, Cabinet, and Parliament. The completed road will be tolled. Mr. Speaker, all new roads of this nature will be tolled. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker,
Honourable Minister, resume your seat.
The cost of the completed infrastructure, as well as pay lenders and provide a return to equity investors. The government of Ghana shall provide funding through GIF to take equity in the special purpose vehicle to be created by GIF for the project.
We refurbish all those toll good structures to provide proper and decent washrooms, for instance, for the use by motorists, so that we advise them, to desist from the practice that we see at times. You find out or you see cars stopping, indiscriminately on the highway, and people getting out, to wee-wee, as we usually say it, urinating. You see men on the left, women on the right, or at times you see a man, the woman. It's all indecent. It's not a good practice.
A lot of stuff in the Ghanaian press want to know is, where exactly is the money going to come from next time around, if you're in power, for some of the very extravagant promises you've made? You, for example, have offered free secondary schooling for all Ghanaians, a promise you say you absolutely will deliver in 4 years in power. So have you costed it? How much will it cost?
The costing is being done. I mean, very, very soon we will be in a position.
You can't make a promise like that.
No. Very soon we're going to be putting it out.
You don't know how much.
I do know, as I said, but I prefer to tell the Ghanaian people directly before I tell you.
Many of them can't talk. You can tell me.
It doesn't matter. I would prefer to make that statement to the people of Ghana directly first, as to the cost. And any
so you do know the cost?
Oh, we do, and we have a very good idea how also we're going to finance it.
Well, you're obviously not going to give me the figures, but just tell me how you're going to pay for it? Because it's clearly going to be a very great cost. You've got to train the teachers, you've got to build new schools.
All of that has been adequately costed, and we believe that, first of all, the new revenues will help, more efficient management of what we have now, growth in the Ghanaian economy. These are the three sources which are going to enable us to fulfill that promise. And it's a promise that has been solemnly made to the Ghanaian people, and it's going to be solemnly kept. Not because it's a campaign promise, but because it is a necessity for the future of our country, to educate all our young people, and not to acquiesce in a situation whereby only segments of the community that have some money are able to educate their children.
It's an interesting
point. It's a major issue of human capital development.
Indeed.
And if we do not make the effort to achieve that, the development paradigm that we want to achieve is going to be very difficult for us to do.
Secondly, this government has borrowed more money than all previous governments put together did in 52 years. I ask, as all of us must ask, Sikano Ewahi, Sikano Ewahi, Sikano Ewahi. We plan a rapid and vigorous development of educational infrastructure in the first 18 months of the next MPP government. This will involve the building of 350 new senior high schools from scratch, whilst rehabilitating and expanding existing ones. Since these schools will be spread across the length and breadth of our country, this construction activity will immediately lead to an explosion of employment in all districts of our country.
I think that the most effective way that we can have a debt portfolio for our country that is sustainable is to make sure that the NDC loses this election in December. Kicking out the NDC will be the surest way we can to protect the debt structure of our country. Why do I say that? In the 4 years in which they have been in power, they have more than tripled our national debt from 9 billion cedis, which was at the end of Kufuor's period, to 28 billion cedis today. In the 4 years of the NDC administration, they have contracted more debt than all the governments of our country, from Kwame Nkrumah right down to John Agyekum Kufuor. That is the nature of the situation confronting our country. And I dare say the President would agree with me that without the rebasing of the economy, the debt profile of our country today will be getting towards epic proportions. So we need, when we're talking about the debt profile of our country, to bear in mind two things. One, the areas into which the debt goes. And I agree with some of my previous speakers that the productive investment and the rate of return on them is a critical one. Equally critical is the value for money of the transactions that the debt brings about. We need to look at that. I've given some examples of public procurements that are taking place in our country on an extremely inflated rate. Once again, we need to look at this. You're talking about loans that are given, and inside the loans, the arrangements for determining value for money remain very opaque and unclear. How can you persuade the Ghanaian people that debts are being contracted in these circumstances that are there to push forward their future? We intend to be extremely disciplined about the contraction of debt. We're first of all going to respect the teachings of the national budget and treat it as precious. We will not be stepping outside the constraints of the budget. We are going to make sure that we reduce considerably areas of corruption in the construction and execution of some of these projects. These are the critical matters that our people are looking for leadership on. That we are not going to get ourselves in airline and other aircraft and other transactions that leave so many questions to be answered. The 28 billion is even without the...
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our joy, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. Inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Right, hello, good morning and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Friday, the 26th day of April 2024. By His grace, we're live and we're here. We're yet another edition of the show. Our gratitude will go to the Most High God for the rare privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making rounds here in the Republic. I'll let you into a panel for the morning's conversation shortly. But let's take a look at the front pages of our newspaper's daily graphic. Unraveling country's development puzzle. Our mindset should breed excellence. A. Sankuma. Latif Abubakar, Italian embassy, launched the license. SML delivered on obligations in contract with GRA. Director. Constituency Watch. German North. Cashew Business Hub. Ghanaian Times. Will revamp Prestia and Bugosu mines. Lands Minister. Tamale communities hit by acute water shortage. Government directs Ministry of Finance and GRA to renegotiate revenue assurance contract with SML. SML reacts to reports. IGP urges Ghanaians to exhibit maturity and patriotism ahead of 2024 polls. Daily Guide. Nana Jabs Mahama, I beat you twice. Otumfor clocks 25 years. Congratulations. KPMG report clears us. SML. Akufo-Addo commissions 15 megawatt Kaleo power plant. Stop bad mouthing us. EC. New Weekend Crusading Guide. President commissions phase 2 of 17.8 million euro solar power plant. SML Ghana Paris KPMG audit report maintains commitment to ethics. Police stands accused for demolishing properties at East Legon while cases in court. Bench conference to tackle housing deficit and flooding. Dr. Prince Hamid Amma. This is not a threat, it's a promise. State looters will be held accountable, says Jane Nana Opokwajiman. Navy officers acted unprofessionally, NPP executives chide. The insight, NPP breaking 8, greatest scam ever, says Magnus Rex Danko as he takes swipe at cabal in government. Infections picked up from healthcare centers, costing Ghana $1,570,000 annually. Water aid research. Baumia has degraded office of vice president to his lowest level, Fifi. Movements affirm that imperialism is in decline, but mass struggle more necessary than ever. The informer, Pope blesses Baumia. Jospon, Comptech, embark on capacity building, train over 600 stakeholders on integrated solid waste management. Greedy bastards resurface, as Edun Ketia reveals. Day of accountability at hand. Jane Nana warns corrupt politicians. Nigeria endorses Jospon Group, says group's facilities are environmentally friendly. The Inquisitor, aftermath of KPMG audit report, SML speaks as need for company services confirmed. Fielding soldiers and prison officers engage in bloody fight at Bokuna Best Palace. Ghana signs agreement with CNNC for construction of technology power project. Jane Nana, no state wealth for opaque deals. Cautions EC against suppressing truth. The Daily Statesman, $20 million for Pong irrigation scheme expansion. Akufo-Addo, government committed to sustainable energy. National Conference on Housing and Hydrology slated for May 27 to 29. EC takes on Mahama. The Daily Searchlight. Connection and whom you know governance. SML reports. KPMG work shoddy. President's response shoddy. Refrain from illegal power connections. Consumers urged. Suspend implementation of Planting for Food and Jobs 2.0 for 2024. Stakeholders. Wana protest theft of state lands at Wa. Government to establish Chieftaincy Development Fund is a question. The Accra Times. Jane Nana to Mahama. I'm grateful. I will not see myself as a driver's mate. Don't allow NDC to bully you. Afenyo marking to NPP communicators. ASEP punches government over power crisis. Ahead of 2024 elections, Sami Jemfi equips parties communicators. The New Finder. SML defense contracts challenges inaccuracies in KPMG report. Newmont pays 1.295 billion cedis in taxes in first quarter. BDCs object to government's plan to designate BEST as sole off-taker. GRA sensitizes market women on tax compliance. The good old Catholic standard. Bishops must tread path of listening. Archbishop Anochi. Dr. Baumia meets Pope Francis. African Synod delegates gather in Nairobi in preparation for Synod 2024. Pope Francis urges responsibility for our common home. Editorial, where is the promised end to illegal mining, Galamsey? Okay, that's a question that the Catholic Standard has posed. I don't know who will give them the answer. We'll be back shortly.
Fortune rice, it's me emu ediane biara. Yansio kakre bipe, emu no nkikamu. Na ne hwam ne dedie. Delicious. Said your mama tieno pepepe.
Ya the Fortune emopa abedwaso. Dana mo a ede. Ma emu ediane nyina.
FDA aje ejedi nkratoa yatum.
Frital has sachets and in different sizes too. You didn't know? These Frital sachets that we all use to fry our meat and fishes, to prepare our favorite meals, and to refill our empty original Frital bottles. Hey! Are you sure you are a fellow Ghanaian?
Get your trusted Frital sachets today for affordability, convenience, and for the refilling of your original Frital bottle. Frital, you deserve a life of goodness.
This advert is FDA approved.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Our stories begin right here, and we never write them alone. There'll be pages we love to read again and again, and some we want to tear out. They are stories of dreamers, stories of creators, stories of strivers, stories of believers, and we're inspired by them all. We invite you to write your story with us. Your story matters, APSA.
Rise and shine, it's another day to stay on point. Toast is spread, it's still on point. Fortune spread it all day long. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Fortune spread, it's still on point. For your bread,
it's creamy.
For your toast, it's still on point. It's yummy, delicious. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. For your toast, it's still on point. It's still on point. Fortune spread, it's yummy, delicious. It's still on point.
Fortune spread, delicious, creamy, and always on point. This advert is FDA approved.
Hey, what's up?
How far with your internship?
To be honest, I'm so nervous about starting this new role on Monday.
Oh, please. I know you'll be great at it. You should be worried about what benefits they have. Example, do they have health insurance?
I doubt they will have that for internet. But no shaking. I have NHIS already.
After you're on a line, ting.
Ina, look at you. What are you going to do in the office when you can just download the app to register for an NHIS membership?
Yes, my people. You heard right. You can now download and register your membership on my NHIS app. No long queues or tedious paperwork. All you need is your Ghana card to register for yourself and for others. Once you register, you get a new digital NHIS card on your phone. My NHIS app gives you access to credentialed health facilities and services across the country. NHIS covers over 95% of disease conditions in Ghana. Access to healthcare just got easier.
Now let me sign up quickly. Miss Steph, I'm starting work next month.
We are back, bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two, with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
These adverts have been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh bread.
I'm a fair missy way.
The Pacho Bantama.
Machasi.
Thank you.
Her smile, the fresh breath.
Me, Gidi said we used to Kel 360 toothpaste.
Semikai, Cal 360 toothpaste.
Gaskia, Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector. Onim jom kasa. Kile hosing. Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will so feeling ye. Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
The biggest car center in Ghana, offering unparalleled round-the-clock service in autos and accessories. Nadam Autofix is the biggest distributors of used tires in Ghana, offering first-grade second-hand car tires of all rim sizes at both wholesale and retail prices. We are also the leading name in car sensor diagnostics, corrections and sales of car accessories. We excel in car washing and detailing with state-of-the-art steam engine washing machines that keep water away from your engine, ensuring a clean, healthy and responsive engine. Nadam Autofix, the first name in servicing, car accessories and car washing. Visit us today and experience the world of class difference. Find us today at Asoridaho, directly opposite Dansoman KFC and the Shell filling station. For more details, you can call us on 0503 244 266 or 0535 339823. Nado Motofix. Wukwanso nyonko papa.
Fortune rice, it's me emu ediane biara. Yansio kakre bipe, emu nkikamu. Na ne hwam ne dedie. Delicious. Said your mom etie no pepepe.
Ya the Fortune emopa abedwaso. Ghana mo a ede. Ma emu eduane nyina.
FDA aje ejedi nkratoa yatum.
Mama, Papa is walking home.
Bar Herbal Hospital. Specialists in every kind of bone disease.
Bar Herbal Hospital. Baby, a son of Wibia. Nanso, Yari, Sapa, a Dumpemu Yari.
Spinal cord, swelling of the arms, arthritis, bone injury, swelling of the leg with reddish color around it, and so on. See, Bar Herbal Hospital has special ultra-modern machine for checking up the body. I have tried them and I got good results. Try Bar Herbal Hospital.
Welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. And now with me on the show is a man who's just returned from the Vatican. He's the MD of STC and also the Vice Chair of Baumia 2024. Nana Akumia. Nana, good body.
Morning.
How's the Pope?
It's good.
It's good. Okay. Did you also receive blessings?
No, I wasn't there.
Oh, you didn't go?
No.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You saw me there?
I thought you were there.
You saw me?
No, I thought as vice chair. You
But you didn't see me.
Yeah, in the pictures,
And
it
yet
was
you-
just. It was
and
just
it looked like somebody like me was in the pictures.
I assumed.
But
that
yet you were
you were
able
there.
to tell me that I've returned from the Vatican.
Also, with me on the show this morning is a member of parliament for the North Tongue constituency, who's also the ranking member on foreign affairs in the Parliament of Ghana, the Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa. Sammy, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Doc. How are you doing?
Good. This week you've behaved, you've been of good behavior. And Nana is very happy with you.
We had to create space to listen to our iconic running mate.
Oh.
So that took center stage. But next week we will return with fresh expose.
So it was Prof's outdooring that made you stay off?
Yes.
Not Nana's admonition?
No, not at all.
Stay off
Not at
what?
all.
Stay off is last week he brought
Buankra.
Yeah, Buankra. And this week, normally he's always creating problems. So I try to track.
So this week was it?
This week I realized that he was quiet. So I was just applauding him for being a good boy. Only for him to say that it was just to give Prof space.
Doc, are you sure I'm the one creating the problems? If they stop creating the problems, I will stop exposing the problems. I'm only carrying out my oversight duties in the national interest. So
The
I'm not the
Buankra
one.
thing
I'm
that
not
you
the one
said, have you
creating
spoken
problems.
to the ministry?
I filed my questions. So I'm waiting for the resumption of the House.
But Nana, have you found something else?
Oh, well, I've had, these things, they're always two sides. They're always two sides. So,
But you notice that I have tremendous documents from the ministry itself. And I have my sources at the ministry. But I know you mean officially. So officially will be in Parliament. But every document on Buankra is in my possession.
But Nana, are you in a position to tell us if the ministry is going to, since the matter is in the public domain? Yes.
Last week,
Yes.
after the program discussion, I didn't know much about it, but Sami took us through his story and brought some documents. So I said, well, the ministry should react. And then he said he had 5 questions and all of that, which is all good. It's all towards accountable government. So there shouldn't be a problem if a member of parliament raises issues. And those issues are of public interest. They involve public monies. And so they will merit a response from the appropriate agency or ministry involved. So really, there's no problem with that. But after the program, the gentleman that Sami was speaking about, the company, the Ashanti
Port Services.
Yes. I got a call. And he said, oh, can we meet briefly?
Okay.
And that he's also, and his office is just around the corner.
Okay.
So I said, oh, why not? I mean, if really some major injustice is being done to you, why not? So from here, I drove there, met him at his office, and we talked. Incidentally, one of the parties supposed to be the consultant to the project, Vision Consult, I didn't even know. But STC is in some partnership with them in terms of the valuation business that we do. We have a partnership with them. They've brought in modern equipment to facilitate the vehicle valuation business. So they are our partners. So they also reached out to me. And they also brought a lot of documentation. And their take totally contradicts the take that Sami.
What about the one you met first?
The one I met first basically said that all that Sami was saying was true.
Okay.
And then he brought so many documents. I said, oh, Sami brought those documents. So I'm aware of the he basically said it was true. He realized I didn't know much about it. And because it was just around the corner, he thought he should speak to me as well. But then this other
the consultants, the Vision Consults. Because we had this partner, and I didn't know they were the people who were the consultants.
They also reached out.
So they also reached out. And they also brought some documentation. But basically, I'm not their spokesperson. But basically, what they say is that the original company, which got a contract to develop the Boankra, they couldn't fulfill the requirements. Couldn't raise the monies that they were supposed to raise on time. They were given several extensions to raise the money. They couldn't raise the money. And the money that came from Gapoha,
yes,
because now government was desperate that time was of essence, the people were not raising the money, so they asked Gapoha to buy shares. So as we speak, there are three shareholders now, Gapoha and the Shippers Council, and then the Ashanti Port Services. Shippers Authority and the Ashanti Port Services. So the decision to give the money to the contractor, Just Mo, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Was something that they all agreed. And they showed me letters from
Africa.
Mr. Afum, isn't it?
Yes.
That's the name I was looking for. They showed me letters from Mr. Afum directing that the monies be paid to Just Mo and all of that. I mean, so there's a wide field of inquiry. So I advised them that this is a matter of public interest. Afum has his documentation. They showed me documents to show that Afum couldn't fulfill the financing requirements that he had signed on to. And they showed me extensions that were given to him that he could not raise any funding. And that's what led to the cancellation and all of that. I said, look, I'm just interested in getting the truth out and getting the project on the ground. So if I advise them what to do, maybe they can also tell their side of the story. And they said they will consider it. But like I'm saying, there's a wide field of inquiry. And what I'll do is I'll let them... And in fact, I was also speaking to Afum.
Okay.
When after I spoke, I said, but this thing that you told me, these people too have come. They said so. So I was trying to interrogate the two sides. But
did they have responses for you?
They just repeated what they had said.
Okay.
But like I said, because the other side also brought documents, including the contract, the terms of the contract, the violation in terms of bringing the money, the extensions that were given, all of that. So we have to interrogate it further.
Right. Yes.
Doc, I'm glad that Nana Komia has met parties in the Boankra project. It's also good that he's listened to all sides. And I have documents from all sides. This claim that Ashanti Port could not raise funding is one of the matters that we will be pursuing, because I have documents from Afri-Exim Bank, and I haven't put this out yet. There are tons of documents. The documents I've put out so far, honestly, is just about 10% of the documents I have. All of these documents here, Boankra, Now, you see...
Are you building a paper pot in your house?
You see... Yeah, I actually need to open a whole garage for documents. You will see from these documents, Afri-Exim Bank agreeing to fund this project for $300 million. They sent emails, I have the emails here, to Mr. Afum, GPHA, requesting confirmation. They had 7 questions that had to be answered, and then they'll release the funds. Mr. Afum and the Ashanti Port Services Limited were sabotaged. Afri-Exim didn't receive any response. From government, you will say, GPHA and the ministry. And it's all here, those who were copied in these emails, one dated October 16, 2023, another one December 27, 2023, from Afri-Exim, asking that, look, we have had a meeting with GPHA as agreed, we said you have to answer these 7 questions, and then we will release the $300 million to you to fund the project. Why did government not respond up to now? All the emails I've intercepted, not a single response.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of the matters we will be probing. So this claim that Ashanti Port could not raise funds, I am not convinced about that claim. Now, I'm also glad that you are meeting Vision Consult. I also have documents from Vision Consult.
You met them?
I have documents from them. I don't need to.
He intercepted them.
I don't need to meet them. Now, Vision Consult will also have to be explaining to us. You remember last week, I said there were independent valuations that confirmed that the work they had done there was $4 million. However, government is paying over $36 million. Now, I have intercepted this document from Vision, dated 21st July 2023, trying to justify why the cost of the project moved from $4 million to $36 million. It says here, notice of variation of initial investment of built project. That is the Buankra Inland Port and Logistics Terminal, and investigations into interim payment certificates submitted by the independent consultant. So there are questions for the consultant.
Is there some document that pegged the cost at $4 million?
Yes.
What is it?
The initial agreement and quantities.
I'm sure this letter will even speak to it.
Yes.
This letter will refer to it.
Yes.
If it's talking about variation, then we'll refer to the original.
So varying from $4 million to $36 million, they should have virtually started afresh. I mean, variation at this percentage. Then don't forget that the fundamental issue of how Jasmine came into this whole affair, the lack of respect for our procurement laws, and how the minister himself concedes that they are now going to take steps to regularize the engagement of Jasmine. So Vision telling you that, we all agreed, we had a meeting, and we said we are going to bring in Jasmine. There are laws in this country. How do you bring in a company to execute a project? You are paying them with public funds. What do our laws say? The procurement law is clear. You don't engage any contractor. You don't pay that contractor in excess of $36 million. And indeed, I have received calls since last week that more payments have been made to Jasmine, that the $36 million I'm quoting is far less. But because I haven't seen those documents, I'm sticking to the $36 million. I have told those great patriots who have called me that bring me the documents. I speak to facts, I speak to documents. So what I have so far is $36 million. But if they say they have paid more, I'm hearing figures virtually approaching $70 million. I would like to see those additional documents. So Jasmine could not have just been called and is being paid all of these monies without recourse to our procurement laws. There ought to have been a tender process. Even if you want to single source, do that. Go through the procurement process. That is our law. You don't just pick a phone and call a contractor, hey, we have all agreed, come and execute this project.
Who brought him?
And they are paying him.
Who brought him?
Handpicked by the minister.
But they also claim that Jasmine was handpicked by the concessionaire.
From the documents I have here.
You have a document but from the ministry appointing the contractor Jasmine?
So they just called him to come in and he's receiving these money.
They didn't give him an appointment.
But you see the letters I read last week, you recall, and I have copies here. Jasmine was even protesting when GPHA was proceeding to pay Jasmine.
But even I have a fundamental...
You saw Ashanti Port protesting.
I even have a fundamental problem. Now, assuming that Ashanti Port even handpicked, if they even
the contractor
Jasmine, Gapoa and the ministry representing the state should have ensured that the right thing was done before parting with money.
Exactly. Exactly. You know,
now, I asked them, why did they pay the contractor? He said because the concessionaire, which is Ashanti Post, couldn't raise any money.
Yeah, but the appointment of the contractor, was it in line with the law,
with the procurement law?
Well, the concessionaire was given the work to develop the ports. It's a huge project. I don't know if the contractor he brings has to go through a certain procedure. But if he has to go through a certain procedure and the procedure wasn't followed, why not? But both sides are claiming that Jasmo was brought by the concessionaire. And they showed me letters to that.
Where is that both sides? Which sides are you talking about?
Vision Consult is claiming that Jasmo was brought by the concessionaire.
And what did
and then Jasmo, the concessionaire is claiming that Jasmo was brought by the ministry. So, like I'm saying, we have to interrogate it. I mean, I'm not anybody's spokesperson.
So, if you're thinking
you have the Ashanti Port letter cautioning GPHA not to make payments to Jasmo.
Yeah, because they said, look, the GPHA money was supposed to buy shares.
Yes.
In the Ashanti Port
service.
Yes. So
they issued the share certificate.
So the money should be ordinarily received by the shareholders.
Yes.
And put into their accounts.
Yes.
There was a fear that because he hadn't brought any monies and they've given him extensions, and they were afraid that if they gave him the monies would not be spent on the project. But so there has to be a shareholders meeting to agree that the money should go to the contractor. Yeah. But I'm saying everybody should come with their document and then we can interrogate the matter.
All right. Okay. So if you're thinking of
which one is this?
That's the Ashanti Port protests about the payment to Jasmo.
Straight to Jasmo.
Okay. Yeah. So if you're looking for a toothpaste that will be for all the family and also affordable, the recommended family toothpaste is Kel 360 toothpaste. And this is approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Kel 360 toothpaste provides you and your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. Kel 360 toothpaste is good for kids, children, and adults. Let your family be a proud family when they step up by constantly using Kel 360 toothpaste. Kel 360 toothpaste brightens your teeth, prevents cavity, and with its cool mint gives you fresh breath throughout the day and protects the gum from decaying. For consistency and quality, use Kel 360 toothpaste. Kel 360 toothpaste is another product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasu, and is available in all supermarkets, malls, and provision shops. Call Samara Company on 0246 864798. Kel 360 toothpaste, happy smile. And enjoying the fruits of your labor is as important as enjoying the mansions of your labor. The pains of climbing the stairs when not exercising could be challenging for all ages, but worry no more. Lifts and elevators have got you covered with the best portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market today. It's a simple, self-supported elevator for both homes and offices, and guess what? It can lift your goods too. Wheelchairs can fit in, and they come in 3 custom-made models. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days. Visit Lift and Elevators at Sakumon, or just call them on 0200-535-515, or send a mail to elevatorsgh@gmail.com for consultations and the best solutions in easy vertical movements. Okay, so yesterday I read a report that government is to change the brown and yellow uniforms of public schools and also change the paintings of the colors of public school buildings. And we're told that according to the Education Minister, Dr. Duchum, this is part of many transformational initiatives to revive basic education and make it attractive in the country. He says we are changing the uniforms of public basic schools in the country. The yellow and brown that you see now, you will see no more. Reformation is coming to a community near you and you will see it. It says he also hinted at a change in color of outlook of basic schools in the country. He said we are switching to blue and white. We are painting all the schools to give it an attractive outlook. This is the transformation Ghana deserves, and it is coming. End of quote. So, somebody and his group who have been speaking a lot about basic education in Ghana, as Kofi Asari and EduWatch, they also have collaborators in the CSO space as far as education is concerned, and they've been speaking about basic education for quite a long time. They've done a lot of research. They've told us what the problems are and all that. I want to find out from him how this helps with the transformation of basic public education in Ghana. Good morning, Kofi. All right. Okay. I'm told that we don't have Kofi now, so when we get him, we'll bring him back on air. So let's talk about Sammy. That's why the reason why you went quiet this week. The official outdooring of Professor Jane Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman. People tend to confuse it. Is it Jane Nana Opoku Ajiman or Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman?
Yes, so per her official documents, she is Jane Nana Opoku Ajiman.
Okay.
However, as a lecturer, young lecturer all the way to she rising to become vice chancellor, her students and colleagues affectionately called her Nana Jane. So Nana Jane is her nickname on UCC campus. All those who were on UCC campus, Nana Jane.
Okay.
Yes, and so that is like,
But the official name is Jane.
It's Jane Nana per her, official records is Jane Nana Opoku Ajiman.
Okay.
But let me salute my dearest boss, Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman.
Are you learning from
and use
the old man
and use President Mohammed's words, a boss in whom I'm well pleased. She has electrified not only the NDC but the country. She has held us spellbound. She has captured our imagination. Her delivery was absolutely a delight to observe. She has really charmed our country. Only last night, I honored an invitation from the Netherlands ambassador to their National Week celebrations. The Roads and Highways Minister represented the government and proposed a toast on behalf of the president. I lost count the number of attendees at that diplomatic reception last night who walked up to me and said that, look, we were still not decided, we were on the fence, we were contemplating, but after listening to your boss, Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman, a night prior, we are so convinced that that is the direction for our country. She inspired us, she motivated us, and you guys have our votes because of that presentation. So there are many, many testimonies across the length and breadth of our country following that masterful, that erudite, that eloquent, logical, and absolutely inspiring address by Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman. The address was full of wisdom, humility, an appreciation of where the country is, a clear vision about the future that this country deserves. And she was brutally frank about the sordid nature of our country now. She didn't pull punches. She didn't mince words. She was not, if you like, hazy about the current national decay that we are confronted with as a nation. And in my mind, I do not recall any time in our history that a running mate's address, perhaps since the running mate address of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama at the National Theatre, as a much younger political activist, this will go down as the most well-received and well-delivered address. Many of our daughters, many of this nation's women and young girls will look back at this week historically and be very, very proud of what has happened and the hope that Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman represents for all females across the length and breadth of this country. And considering the fact that our women, females in our country, constitute a majority, 52%, according to the last population and housing census, we cannot downplay the significance of this moment and how women have finally received what they deserve. And I must celebrate His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Now everybody, locally and internationally, is commending incoming President Mahama for having that knack. There's so many people who were jostling for running mate position, but to settle on Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. And at the time, many people did not understand him and did not really know what he had seen in the good old professor. Now, everybody is celebrating incoming President Mahama for that vision, for that judgment, for the selection of Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. And I think that as we celebrate the professor, we must equally celebrate President Mahama. Because if President Mahama had not, way before many people are now coming to realize how an asset, how germane Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman is to the ticket, her gravitas and her accomplishments. If President Mahama had not seen it and had not given her the opportunity, we would not be discussing this. Now, if you come to the speech itself, I remain profoundly impacted by how the professor set the tone. She says, and I quote, "I see your choice as an affirmation of your belief in the capabilities of the Ghanaian woman. I will repay your abiding confidence with loyalty, understanding, and a devotion to duty. My output going forward, by the grace of God, will continue to demonstrate what the world knows already, that women are also capable of high achievements, that we do so with that reservoir of strength, determination, and mental acuity that only those who are noble and far-sighted can comprehend and contend with." Very profound statements. And so it is not surprising, Doc, that after her sterling performance as Minister of Education, she has been sought after all over the world. Because she is so self-effacing and quietly efficient, just believes in getting the job done, and is not one to be beating her chest and, if you like, arrogantly praising herself. Many people have not paid attention to how internationally sought after Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman is. Indeed, after her tenure as Minister of Education, when the Federation of African Women Educationalists, headquartered in Kenya, when they were looking for an African board chair and president of that reputable institution, they found no other worthy person than Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. And she served at Fawe from 2017 to 2023. Indeed, only last year. During her tenure, she transformed that organization, and she led that organization to win the coveted Al Sumait Prize in Education. Remarkable. In Zimbabwe, when the people of Zimbabwe were looking for a chancellor of the African Women's University, headquartered in Harare, they found no other worthy person than Professor Nana Jinopokwaja. Indeed, the Zimbabweans are pleading with her that even though she has tendered her resignation, she should wait and preside over her last congregation in August this year. So she is still the chancellor of the African Women's University in Zimbabwe. So, in addition to all of this, what she did for UNESCO, serving on the UNESCO Global Board, you cannot downplay the accomplishments of these high-flying educationists. But perhaps what should even excite us the more is how she situates this epoch-making era in history. She says, "Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before I go on to other matters, please let me state my understanding of where we are as a country and the implications of what lays ahead, as clearly as I can manage it. The selection ahead of us is not about making history, although that is important. It is not about returning a former president back to power or about producing the first woman vice president, historical and exciting though they are. It is not only about bringing the National Democratic Congress to power, although that is indispensable in our current circumstances. It is about winning the elections for a purpose that goes beyond those enumerated above. The purpose is the opportunity to hold our country together again, to heal Ghana. It is about the chance to pull Ghana from the precipice of destruction, of normalizing corruption, of incomprehensible greed, from deep despair. The election ahead is about hard work and abiding sacrifice. It is to embrace everyone in building a Ghana that functions again. It is to work towards a Ghana where citizens have confidence and hope and are determined to regain their independence of thought and agenda. We must work towards a Ghana that at the very least can feed itself, where the law truly works, where there is shared prosperity, where democracy has not become a fluke, where people are not abused, and where the basic necessities of life are not denied the majority or eventually anyone. It is a chance to work hard towards a country where citizens do not feel disrespected, are not intimidated, ignored because of the way they vote or the language they speak. The victory we seek as a party is to invite everyone to the onerous task of rebuilding a broken Ghana, of restoring hope in a manner that the NDC is capable of doing by their history and achievements." Unquote. Profound statement. I mean, this is where this country should go. This is what Ghana deserves. And you see, Doc.
Please be wrapping up for me.
If you look at the many amazing things that Prof said, one of the major highlights for me, because of the work I do in oversight, is this statement. John and I have agreed that whoever has participated in the plunder of the state must be held accountable. This is not a threat, it is a promise. Premise on the wishes of our citizens across the various political and social divides and hinge on the principle of accountability. Look, I am so excited about this, like many Ghanaians are. And I'm not surprised that it's been in the trends for days since she spoke. This particular pledge, the agreement that she has.
Can you read that again?
John and I have agreed that whoever has participated in the plunder of the state must be held accountable. This is not a threat. It is a promise. Premise on the wishes of our citizens across the various political and social divides and hinge on the principle of accountability. Oh, God bless Professor Nana Jinopukwajima. God bless John Dramani Mahama.
Okay.
Look, Doc, the plundering going on, the naked thievery. You remember the Cocoa Board audit? 87,
which one?
87%, the latest Cocoa Board audit, the Auditor General's report, audit report on Cocoa Board. 87% of all contracts there, single source. And the Auditor General is saying that when they compared the 87% of single source contracts with the 13% that were competitive, it was three times the value. Meaning that if we got 100 kilometers of roads, we could have got 300 kilometers. And those who came to the party to Bamba, cronies of this government, including the vice president's brother, 87%. No value for money. Naked procurement breaches, an abuse of the single source procurement method. I can't wait for this promise to be fulfilled. National Cathedral, $58.1 million. And I like how she her literary prowess are just amazing. She says anytime she sees that image, who will believe that that is a place for God all-knowing? $58.1 million. And all those who destroyed those edifices that were there at that location, Malian ambassador's residence, judges' bungalows, the Judicial Training Institute, Scholarship Secretariat, Comsys IT firm, Waterstone Realty Apartment Complex, Shraj bungalows, Passport Office. People think they won't answer for this? Oh, I can't wait.
Right.
I can't wait for that coming. I can't wait. Bwankra, what we were discussing earlier. I mean, the impunity. People think this country belongs to them. That there will be no judgment day. There will be no day of reckoning. Oh, I just can't wait. That is my favorite paragraph. And it gives me hope that, look, all the work we are doing, the sleepless nights, risking our lives, intercepting documents. I am so excited that Professor Nana says our work will not be in vain. Look, she's motivated me to do more. And next week I'm going to unravel more documents.
All right.
And put out more of the rot.
So Nana, you've been sighing, you've been laughing, you've been giggling, you've been smiling.
He's totally restless, You can tell that he's dazed.
What explains your mood?
Randy,
yes, sir.
When you were reviewing the papers,
yes,
you had a headline about the NDC communication officer doing some outreach for his communicators.
Yes.
Sammy Jemfi.
Yes.
Yeah. Samuel Kujeto said.
Ahead of 2024 elections, Sammy Jemfi equips parties' communicators.
Has he paid the judgment, the debt?
Who?
Sammy Jemfi.
Which debt?
There's a court judgment he has to go and pay Napo, the Minister for Energy.
I don't know.
Really?
No, there's a defamation suit.
Really? I'm hearing this for the first time.
It's all over. It's all over. Anyway, I thought he would be looking for money to pay the debt.
Is that why you were laughing?
Now, the reason why I'm laughing is that I agree at the inauguration of the outdooring of Mrs. Jane Nana Pokwachima, the NDC running mate. There was a lot of poetry. That one, I was struck by the poetry. But I understand that is failed, isn't it? So it was okay. But we are being told this morning that she held the nation spellbound. She charmed the country. I was seeing, where was the charm? What did she say that is so striking that we have never heard before that should hold us spellbound? What did she say? Beyond the poetry and the fine words, she is a professor. Is it of literature? Is it of literature?
Yeah.
So I can imagine there will be a lot of fine words. But beyond those fine words, we have been told she had a spellbound. By what? What did she say that is new, that is striking, that we haven't thought of before? That is going to give us food for thoughts. What did she say? What did she say that charmed the country? What new vision did she? We are being told that by her nomination. Now, mind you, she's not a new quantity. This is the second time she's been nominated or she's been chosen to be a running mate. So she's not a new quantity. But we are being told that now women have finally received what they deserve. The Ghanaian woman has finally received. Finally? The woman was chosen in 2020. Or? She was chosen in 2020. It's not today. So coming to tell us that the Ghanaian woman has finally received what they deserve. Please. She was chosen in 2020. It's not new. It's not a new thing that any Ghanaian woman should be excited about. And in any case, she's not the first female running mate. She's not the first.
Maybe the two major parties.
Of the two major parties.
Two major parties. But this business about Ghanaian women, finally, she's not the first. We've had women presidential candidates in this country. Nana Akufo-Addo was a presidential candidate. Why? Come on. Why are you?
No, I'm looking at the monitor.
Suddenly.
What?
Nana. Look at your boss. Look at him. Let me repeat it for you there. Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings was a presidential candidate.
That's true. It's a fact.
The Kwesi Ndom's party, they had this young lady, Ms. Jogbenuku,
yes,
as a running mate. In fact, she even became the presidential candidate. Yes. She even became the presidential candidate. So this business of beating us that this is a woman that have finally got is not true.
But the reality is that the two major parties.
For the two major political
this
parties.
Is the first time.
This is the first time.
So the other parties, they don't matter.
Major political parties.
The other women, because they come from other parties, they don't matter. They do.
Nana.
Let me just go on. Hold on. Now, we have been told
and propaganda
that she's internationally being sought after.
Absolutely. The facts speak for itself.
But she was internationally being sought after in 2020, wasn't she? She was, obviously. So, coming to tell us that she's somebody that the international community is looking for, so what? What has that got to do with anything?
Oh, really?
What has that got to do with anything? No. And then they said, she said that Sami Okujeto says what impresses him about the whole poetry was that she said she and John Mahama have agreed to prosecute wrongdoing and corruption.
Okay, you're summarizing it.
This, I'm just...
paraphrasing, yeah?
No, you said she... Can you read it again? That's exactly what she... I was writing it.
I was going to ask him to read it.
You want to have a read? Yeah, that's it. The last
John and I have agreed that whoever has participated...
I love the pitch of your voice.
Must be held accountable.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, I thought you were going to read the whole thing.
The whole speech?
No, that paragraph. You can complete the paragraph.
No, but the part I'm interested in is John and I have agreed. Whoever has participated in plunder must be held accountable.
Yeah.
This is not a threat. It's a promise. Premise on the wish of our citizens.
Yeah.
And Samuel Kujeto said this is what impressed him most. This one.
Yes.
Is this on the basis of his own?
So the great charm.
Yeah.
The way she held the nation spellbound. Is all. As far as Samuel Kujeto is all because she says she will prosecute wrongdoing. This is what we are being offered. Now, Randy, what should we all have to ask ourselves that is this something that anybody should take notice of? That an incoming government, you need to go and sit with your presidential candidate to take a decision to prosecute crime. Do you need to go and take a decision? It's a natural course. It's a natural course.
Probably our history, maybe our history and the recent history does not make it a natural course.
Let me show you our recent history.
Okay.
In 2012, in 2009, when the NDC came to office, they had press conferences. The lead presenters of those press conferences were pointing their fingers into the camera about how they will prosecute wrongdoing. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
Some of these people became attorney generals.
Like who? Like who?
I'm saying some of those people at their press conference, they became attorney generals. So they were faced with the power now to prosecute. What happened?
Who are you referring to?
You forget about the personalities if you don't remember. But I'm saying, what happened to that promise? What happened to that premise? How dare they? We will deal with them. Look, last week, somebody was jailed.
Mm-hmm.
She has run away from justice, to the embarrassment of everybody, that to all of us public officials, because we believe that we serve with integrity. She runs away from the country for months. Finally, she's jailed. I thought Jane Nana Pukwajima, if she's going to talk about this, we'll mention this.
Why am I she?
Yeah, because she's talking about dealing with corruption. And so she will mention that this is significant. Telling us that you've gone and taken it. Let me see how she puts it. John and I have agreed. Mm-hmm. Do you need to go and have an agreement about fighting corruption?
Yeah, why not?
Do you need? I'm saying in 2009, you told us the same thing. You couldn't prosecute one person. One person. You remove stop international flights because you said somebody was on the flight. He was a subject of interest. Stop international flights. Remove families from international flights. You said somebody had imported rice. You didn't understand it. It was all kinds of foco, zilch, just noise.
Judgment Day is coming.
That is your record. That is your record. At least in the NPP, there are people being prosecuted successfully. Mm-hmm. Including last week. The Maslock thing. People are being prosecuted successfully. But I'm saying that the fight against crime and corruption, especially, it should be automatic. It is not now that you are going to take an agreement.
But it is not.
But I'm saying they said the same thing to us in 2009. The same thing. If it was. More people, more threatening than this. You don't shout about it. You have to do it. The NPP is doing it.
Doing it selectively.
But at least we are doing it.
They don't see their own corruption.
Yeah, but at least we are doing it. You agree. One of your colleagues was jailed. She's absconded as we speak. She's still out. We are going to now have Interpol go and track her. And after a 4 or 5 year trial.
The lawyers don't agree with your assertion.
Which one?
That she absconded.
So why is she not back to face justice?
Because she's giving medical reasons why she needs an extension of time. The only thing is that the court disagrees with her, with her position. But for the times that the case has been called, first of all, she went out with the permission of the court.
Yeah. And when did she say she was coming back?
Subsequent dates, her lawyers have presented medical documents to show why
she's still sick.
She's still, yes. But yes, the court also has taken a decision that it disagrees and has gone ahead to try her in absentia.
It's been 4 years, isn't it?
I don't know.
About 4 years. She's been sick for 4 years. But I'm saying that at least a successful prosecution has been mounted. My worry is, this is what Samuel Kujeto says moves him. That they have agreed. They have agreed that whoever has been involved in the plunder must be accountable. And this is what Samuel Kujeto says is so novel, so new, so charming, so spellbounding. In his own words, this is the part that freaks him.
Absolutely.
An agreement that they will prosecute corruption. Now, Randy, you said, are you not embarrassed by this?
Why?
That
I'm excited about it.
That they've gone to agree. You mean they have to go and agree?
I'm excited about it.
About what? The agreement?
Yes, about the fact that people must answer.
Yeah. But you know that people must answer. You know, you and I know.
No, people must answer. My point is that even today,
yes,
people must answer.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if, for example, as we speak today, Fourth Estate, the SML thing they did, the president referred the matter to KPMG. Then, a few weeks ago, some civil society persons and media told us all that, look, KPMG has presented a report to the president. There is some silence on it. Then we had a release from the presidency.
So your point is that people must answer even today?
Yeah. Yes.
I agree.
No, when you say that, I make those statements when you say that it's like it's a natural course. It's something that must happen naturally.
Because it's not
I'm just saying that I don't disagree that is what ought to be.
Yes.
But it is not. And that is why...
But last week there was a prosecution.
Oh, Nana.
No, last week there was prosecution.
Nana. Yeah. The point I'm making to you is that it is not about tokenism. That's the point I'm making to you.
And why is the token?
Because I am saying that I was giving you this SML thing. So the report is presented to the president. It takes people in civil society and media to tell us that the report.
Yeah, so in your view,
then we get a statement.
In your view, the fight against plunder must be now.
Yes,
I agree. I don't have a problem, but I'm saying that this momentous announcement, as if it's some new thing that they have to go and deliberate about it and come and tell us about it, that we have gone and agreed. For me, that's my worry. This one is so basic. And Samuel Kujeto says that this is what freaks him most.
But
the pledge that they will fight against corruption.
When a basic thing has been made rocket science,
yeah,
it ceases to be basic.
Where's the rocket science?
What ought to be basic? Yeah. So, a president, there is a media disclosure. There's a public discussion on the issue. The president asks an audit firm to audit. The audit report.
What is the point?
The audit report is presented to the president.
Why is the president refusing to publish the
report?
Publish the report.
And let everybody see.
If you have nothing to hide, publish the report.
We are not. If you want us to talk about the report, we can talk about it. I'm saying that this momentous announcement that we have gone and sat down and agreed that we will fight
corruption,
we'll hold people accountable.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
You have to go and sit down with your flag bearer to agree. This one. Okay. And we are being told that this is the freakiest part of it. The agreement with John Mahama that they will fight corruption. I'm saying that, and you talked about history. I'm saying that if you look at the history, in 2009, they made even louder commitments to fight corruption. When they came, what did they do? In the 8 years, what did they do? Which successful prosecution could they mount? between 2009 and 2016. I am passionate, and you are passionate, that we sanitize our public space. It's something that should be the passion of every politician with good thinking about this country. And when you tell me that even this one, you have to go and sit down and have an agreement. Now, we were told that, she said, the purpose of the election, I'm still quoting her good friend, Samuel Kujato.
Her son.
Her son, adopted son. That we have been told by him
proudly so.
that she says that the election is about holding the country together. Why is the country split? Is Ghana as we know it, is it split?
You can't see the disrespect of other people. Did you see what your president did to the chiefs in the OT region?
1 second.
Did you see? And that is not the first time. Did you hear the president when he came to my constituency?
Is it possible you can let me? You
but you are asking us a question.
I'm speaking to Randy. You spoke.
Why? I'm also here. I'm on the panel. You will hear me, Nana. You will hear me.
Randy.
Did you hear what the president told the people
if you let me speak, say so I can just say. Randy.
Doc, you have the video, the Kumfi video, what the president told the chiefs.
Yes,
because they didn't vote for it.
Let finish.
Those are the things the good professor is talking about.
Chief, he says to hold the country together.
Yes, we'll heal the country.
Holding something together means the thing is coming apart.
Absolutely.
Is Ghana coming apart?
Yes, because of the conduct of your leaders. Yes, on a daily basis.
She says, according to good son Samuel Kujato, she will fight greed, and she will pull the country back from the precipice.
Yeah.
Which precipice? Which precipice? Is Ghana about to fall into some hellhole?
I thought you will have qualified the greed. If you are quoting the professor, quote her properly.
He says
incomprehensible
Ghana
greed.
Will function again.
That's how she put it.
This country is not functioning.
What is working in this country? What have you been able to do properly? Mention one thing. Nana, mention one.
He says people will regain their independence of thought. Why Ghanaians cannot think independently?
You know what's happening to headmasters, headmistresses when they criticize?
And I got this. She says she's going to bring shared prosperity.
Absolutely. Yes. Great vision.
And that elections about citizens not being intimidated.
Yeah.
And citizens will be respected.
Yeah.
These are the things
that's the Ghana we want.
We are being offered.
That's the Ghana
and
we
this
want.
is what we are being told has held the country spellbound and charmed the country. This poetry.
I wouldn't want to see the chief of Insutan being
being asked to just get up
with their left hand.
Left hand.
Randy
disrespect.
Randy Abbey, don't be taken in by the propaganda.
Which one?
What propaganda?
This propaganda.
You haven't seen the video. You haven't seen the video.
I saw it.
It happened.
Listen for 2 seconds.
You haven't heard the chiefs of OT.
Then I'm listening to you.
Listen for 2 seconds. You say the president did something that you thought wasn't right.
Yeah. Have you seen it?
Yeah, despicable. Despicable.
Is it right?
Will he do that to his chief?
Yeah, is it right?
Will he do that to the chief?
The optics didn't look good. But the fact that the president has done something that you didn't think was right means that the country is not together.
Yeah, because there's been a consistent pattern. Across most village victims. The president looked at
Nana, when it's not,
the face.
Nana, will you agree that if it's not a one-off?
Yeah.
If it's not a one-off, then it becomes a worry.
Yes.
Yeah, but does it mean that the country is not together?
Yes.
That's
leadership is not holding the country together.
Can I? But you said so many fine poetry. I'm just making a little comment. You let me.
Yeah, because
why?
Because you're just muddying the waters.
Oh.
I mean,
and then he said that I was jittery. I was jittery. I was laughing, and because as I kept listening to him, I was waiting for the profound thing that came out of the speech that would strike me that yes, this is something that we've been looking for. And the profound,
and you will admit that. You ever admit that
in your adult life, have you ever been struck by
from anything coming from the NDC?
No. Grandi Abbey, I've sat on this program and said good things about even Samuel Kujeto, what he's doing.
Which you will qualify.
No, he's asking me if I've said anything good about him. Even you yourself, I've said good things about it. I've praised your work. I have cautioned you where the work is.
You've qualified the praise.
Yes, but
there was no need for that qualification. I'm sure. Yes,
it qualifies the praise.
Yes. I'm sure if I was an MPP MP, you would not have added those qualifications.
So
he will eulogize you.
Exactly.
So
unreservedly.
I'm looking for this new vision.
Yes. Have you read the 33-page speech?
But you literally read it. That is going to give us.
I read less than 2 pages.
That charmed the country. That holds the country spellbound. And then all we are being told is that she says the elections are.
Did you listen to the good professor?
She says
you clearly haven't read.
You have to beg him.
Sorry, please allow.
No, because I don't know where Nana is headed to.
So now we are being told that what has held the nation spellbound and charmed the country and brought international recognition. No, it's because she says the elections are about holding the country together.
Why are you doing this to yourself, Manathan? Why are you doing this? You take propaganda to embarrassing levels, Manathan.
And the elections are about checking greed. And the elections are about pulling back from the precipice. And the elections are about making Ghana function again. And the elections are about making Ghanaians gain independent thoughts. So all of us, our thoughts are not independent. It's Jane Nana Pukwajma who's going to bring independent thinking to us. And that is about shared prosperity. Citizens will not be intimidated. They'll be respected. These are the things that she said that have charmed the country. Hey, then you have work to do. Samuel Kujeto, you have work to do. Now, he said that Samuel Kujeto talked about cocoa board and said there was some 87% of contracts have been sole sourced, and that has been shown to be 3 times the amount, whatever. It's an audit report. You see, there's a committee in Parliament called the Public Accounts Committee. That committee is chaired by the minority. The reason why they made that committee to be chaired by the majority and the minority have a majority on that committee, it's so that they can pursue accountability. That's why they made you the minority. The standing orders of Parliament made that committee to be chaired by the minority, and the minority to have a majority on that committee. So, if you believe that something untoward has gone on at Cocoa Board, it's in you don't need Jane Nana Pukwajima for the agreement she had with John Mahama to come into effect.
What can the committee do?
At least let them start dealing with it.
No, they will bring the people there.
Yes.
They will ask them questions.
Yes.
They will talk. They will make recommendations.
Yes.
Then what else?
Yes, but at least all of us will then see where the truth lies. I mean, the first thing in achieving accountability is to bring the parties and interrogate them, isn't it? So let us see these things. Then we know that you are serious about fighting corruption, as you say. Because I remember 2009, when the last time NDC was in office. And the things they said they were going to do about corruption. And I'm going to look for those videos and send them to you.
Okay.
And they came and spent 8 years. They couldn't successfully prosecute one person. One. Or were you? And then they come here again to tell us that they've now taken a decision. And we have been told that the merely because there's a meeting to decide, it means that. So, my summary is that congratulations to the professor. We saw her in the 2020 elections. As far as I'm concerned, there was no impact of her running mate in the 2020 elections. If there's any impact, maybe Samuel Kujeto can tell us. As far as I'm concerned, I didn't see any impact. Even her home region of the central region, she couldn't deliver the votes to John Mahama.
I thought they moved their parliamentary seats from 4 to 14.
So she couldn't deliver the votes to John Mahama. Could she?
You mean as in a presidential vote?
Yeah.
Oh, no. They didn't win.
She's on the presidential ticket. So I'm saying I didn't see any impact. But, I'm a fair-minded man. Maybe this time we may see some impact.
Okay.
But if we are going to go by what has happened, there's not much to go on.
All right.
And then I'm fortified in my view that when we're told that she said something that has charmed the country and held us spellbound, I was ready to listen.
You were not charmed.
I was not, but were you charmed? The things that we have been told that she's taking a decision with John to fight corruption, and that she said the purpose of the election is to hold the country together and check greed and pull Ghana back from the precipice, and so Ghana can function again. These are the things that charm people.
Okay. All right. We need to take a break.
Okay. All right. Then when we come back.
Well, you want to respond?
Yes. Yes. I have a number of responses.
We'll actually.
Fortune rice, it's me emu ediane biara. Yansu kakre bi pe, emu no nkeka mu. Na ne hwam ne dedie. Delicious. Said your mama tie no pepepe.
Ya the Fortune emopa abedwaso. Ghana mo a ede, ma emu eduane nyina.
FDA age ejedie nkrato yatum.
Jeda jama wo simpa na fofo no a, wodi nnura ahoro a ebo ma yi nkikaye asoro no adi.
Sham. Emma wonsa ho nhihyew. Ena epu ehuro nsu yi. Eyi nkikaya nkasa.
Oh, I should to be.
The Jamal washing powder for furnace sachets akesi enum aba. Eyi nkikaya nkasa.
Anima.
For Jamal washing powder bottle 30. Kanyama o de beja wari.
New Jamal washing powder. Emanya meniti ne musu ye hwam. Wo hokafo a oma won tade eniti. FDA age edwedie nkrato yatum.
Rise and shine, it's another day to stay on point. Toast is Friday, it's still on point. Watch is Friday all day long. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Watch is Friday, it's still on point. For your bread,
it's creamy.
For your toast, it's still on point. It's yummy, delicious. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. For your toast, it's still on point. It's still on point. Fortune spread, it's yummy, delicious. It's still on point.
Fortune spread, delicious, creamy, and always on point. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome to Elbow.com. In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
We are back, bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two, with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot. You always get way more with Betway.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
It's good to stay strong together. It's good to share nutritious meals cooked with Fritol, a vitamin A fortified oil. Fritol, you deserve a life of goodness. This advert is FDA approved.
Mother Papa is working. Bar Herbal Hospital. Specialists in every kind of bone disease.
Bar Herbal Hospital. Hey, baby, a son of a good beer. Nanso, yare me sapa, don't yare.
Spinal cord, swelling of the arms, arthritis, bone injury, swelling of the leg with reddish color around it, and so on. See, Bar Herbal Hospital has special ultra-modern machine for checking up the body. I have tried them and I got good results. Try Bar Herbal Hospital.
Fortune Rice, it's me emu ediane biara. Yansio kakre bipe, emu no nkekamu. Na ne hwam ne dedie. Delicious. Said your mama no pepe.
Ya the Fortune emopa abedwaso. Ghana mo a ede. Ma emu ediane nyina.
FDA aje ejedi enkratoa yatum.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Still with me on the show, I've done Akomia and Samuel Kujatua Blackwell. What does wealth mean to you? Do you want to live like a tycoon? Remember, I was God and Mola got the power. Ghana's newest lottery game draws live on Adom TV at 9 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. daily. Now pick up your phones, tablets, and computers and download the Game Park Games app on Play Store. You can also play on the website at www.gameparkgames.com or by dialing *946# on all networks. Just choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9. It's easy to play and easy to win. Charlie could play this game and make some mola. Nobody beats our odds in Ghana. Game Park Games, more mola, more power. This game is regulated by a National Lottery Authority and is not for persons under 18. Play responsibly. Ayesoko, that could somebody damn be big, but Betway's cash out be bigger. Betway is giving you more control over every thrilling bet you place. Enjoy the biggest and most reliable cash out in Ghana on Betway without any hassle. Sign up today at betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. It's not for persons under 18 and is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more. Blue Jeans energy drink has been on the Ghanaian market for about 20 years. We already know what it does for the body. It contains vitamins and nutrients like vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy, as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans energy drink has been tested and tried. It's indeed the best. Blue Jeans energy drink is for bold and active men and women. So go and grab a cold can and power your day. It's in shops nationwide. For bulk purchases, contact Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 0208 128 190 055 001 0000. All right. Okay. So we'll wrap up on the outdooring of Professor Nanaji and Opoku Ajiman. But I earlier on told you that the Education Minister, Dr. Elsa Duchuma, hinted of plans to change the brown and yellow uniforms worn by pupils of basic schools in the country. And according to the minister, this is part of many transformational initiatives to revive basic education and make it attractive in the country. Quote, we are changing the uniforms of public basic schools in the country. The yellow and brown that you see now, you will see no more. Reformation is coming to a community near you and you will see it. He also hinted at a change in the color of the outlook of basic schools in the country. Quote, we are switching to blue and white. We are painting all the schools to give it an attractive outlook. This is the transformation Ghana deserves, and it is coming. End of quote. Kofi Asare is the executive director of Africa EduWatch, and he operates in the educational space in civil society, and he's done extensive work together with other CSOs on basic education, especially, and they've churned out a lot of research findings on this particular issue. I want to pick his views on this one. Good morning, Kofi.
Hello. Good morning, Doc. Morning, and good morning to your audience.
All right. Okay. I'm sure that you've heard, you've watched, you've read the minister, and of course you've been following the discussion about this issue. What do you make of this?
Well, I think it's always good. I mean, positive change is always good. If we want to periodically change our uniform to school for good reasons, that's fine. I mean, even as human beings, we don't wear the same thing, the same color, the same dress, the same uniform every day. We've seen the police, for instance, at a point introduce new uniforms, and all that. So yes, I mean, it's not too strange to change uniforms. The question we want to ask is, what is informing the change? What is wrong with the cream and brown? And what benefit does the new? I hear is black and white. What benefit does the black and white, bring that the cream and the brown, didn't bring? I think that's a question we must ask. On top of my head, I know that something white is quite difficult to maintain, especially for children. And so it means that if I had only one cream and one brown, which hardly gets dirty as easy as the white, it meant that I could have one uniform and manage it for the whole week. And I'm talking for poor children in rural communities or urban poor. But then if it's white, and we know white gets dirty easily, it means that I probably would need more than one or two to go through the week to appear in school tidy. And so we need to hear the debate about what is informing the switch to white, and not any other color. Also, we are also aware that there is a group of Ghanaians who are unable to even afford uniforms. They go to school without uniforms and they are poor. I'm happy anytime the GNS changes school uniform, they don't make it compulsory, such that it shouldn't be a barrier for enrollment or retention. It won't be a strict requirement until you're able to afford. But the question is that, having worked in the community for about a decade, I know that one of the factors that does not make the school environment interesting for pupils. Why some pupils will not like to go to school is because their colleagues have uniforms and they don't have uniforms. It is a factor. So anytime you change uniform, it means that poor families, especially those living in the lower income quintiles, will have to find money, to make their children happy to go to school. What is the strategy by government to ensure that uniforms are available to such families who genuinely cannot afford uniforms, especially in a country where we are providing free uniforms for senior high school students, whether rich or poor? So for me, those safeguards are also an important question to ask. But largely, I don't see anything wrong with changing uniforms, but there must be a justification for the switch in color. I've heard some debate that the new uniforms helps, develop children to develop interest in school and all that. I'm not too sure how a new uniform will let someone develop interest in school, because we switched to a new junior high school uniform, I think, in 2019, 2020. 3 years down the line, I'm not seeing one of the reasons we are due for changing the junior high school uniform is that we wanted the junior high school to look different from the primary school and make it more attractive. So we changed it. But if you look at our primary 6 to junior high school 1 transition data, we have actually not demonstrated that impact in that area. We were doing about 94% primary 6 to junior high school 1 transition in 2016-17, and by 2021 we had reduced to about 92. So I'm not too sure how introducing new uniforms makes the school more interesting. But I think that it's more an issue of that there must be other reasons than just making the school interesting. That's my take on the school uniform.
Now, Kofi, what about the paintings of the buildings? We all know that the schools are painted just like the uniforms. There's the darker brown, and then there's the lighter one at the top. We're told that now by the minister that now they're going to change all that to blue and white. I mean, apart from the issue of cost and all that, but I mean, we're going to paint all basic schools in the country. We're going to change the color from blue from the current brown and cream, if you want to call it that way, to blue and white.
Again, painting is a big issue. I mean, the average basic school perhaps gets painted once in 10 years or so. So painting is a big issue. But you see, I want to situate paint. So any effort to paint basic schools should be very welcome, because painting is a big issue. Schools normally get painted when they're able to get donations from benevolent individuals or corporates. That's the reality. There's no budget for that. So any time an initiative like this is announced, obviously everybody should be happy that we have an opportunity to paint our school that perhaps hasn't seen paint for about 10 years or more. But you see, let's look at a bigger picture. We are running a system, okay? Painting is a maintenance issue in our schools. The schools must be painted regularly, we all admit. The schools themselves are owned by the district assemblies, because they are the ones mandated to build schools, provide infrastructure, basic schools per the education law. But the reality is that the schools have no maintenance budget. The capitation grant, which is the only fund that gets to the school, supposed to be used for maintenance, is always in arrears. And even if available, it is scarcely adequate, because the grant at 10 Ghana cedis, since it was increasing to 10 Ghana cedis in 2018, has reduced in value by about 180%, discounted for inflation over the period. But it doesn't even arrive, at the right time. It's always in arrears. So there's no maintenance budget line being funded by government at the school level. Now, the government, as part of its education reform, has decentralization as a key strategy or focus area. And my understanding of decentralized education management is that you are devolving responsibility over decision-making and authority and resources, so that the center will rather coordinate compliance, and all that. But we have a situation where our schools are not being given budgets to maintain, broken down, to fund their maintenance budget lines. And so when you have continuous centralization of maintenance, for example, having a centralized approach to painting schools, it becomes a bit worrying. Yes, it is good to have schools painted, but can we empower our schools? Can we fund budget lines for maintenance? And also, can we give our schools the power to determine which aspects of maintenance to prioritize using those budgets? Because in school A, including the school on the screen now, if they had a maintenance budget, I'm sure their priority would have been to procure desks or get some school walls or a proper pavilion waiting for a convenient school building before they would think about painting. Another school, their priority would be to use maintenance budget lines to fix broken doors, broken windows, so that people will not come into the school and come and do what they want there when school is not in session. Another school would prefer to use their maintenance budget line to paint their school because painting would be their immediate need. If we are able to devolve education as envisioned in the government's own education reform agenda, our schools should take control of their maintenance budgets and also maintenance priorities, such that if painting is the most pressing maintenance need, the school, in collaboration with the school management committee and parents, will decide to do so. I think if we begin to decentralize a budget for maintenance and decentralize maintenance and fund these lines, our schools will have a system where, our basic schools will have a system where continuously issues of painting, issues of fixing doors, broken windows, and all that will be catered for in a maintenance, budget, so that the Ghana Education Service in Accra, the ministry, will only provide the necessary oversight and compliance to ensure that as you are painting, you are using the right colors. As you are, fixing windows, fixing doors, you are doing it in line with the minimum quality standards expected of schools. I think that should be the end game for the painting. In respect of the color that I've seen being communicated, I'm not too sure. I've heard about white and blue. Perhaps, if indeed that is the color decided, it will be also important for the ministry to communicate on why the switch from those to those colors. I'm asking that question because the current colors, the cream and then brown, the benefits, I don't know why those colors were chosen, right? But having worked in the communities for 12 years, one benefit of this color is that it can last for 5 or 10 years without painting, and the school will not be too dirty because the color doesn't attract dirt so easily. And of course, we know we don't have funds to regularly maintain our schools. And we know that our most pressing maintenance need for school infrastructure is not painting. We are talking about desks and the lack of decent school buildings in over 5,000 schools, many of whom exist under trees and sheds. But the issue is that the new color we are moving to, as I've seen, is light blue and white. If that is the case, as communicated, if that is what the ministry intends to do, then we want to know the relative advantage of the new color over the current one. Because from where I sit, I see the white color to be amenable to debt very easily. And in a country where the maintenance culture is not there, the budget line is not there, the budget is not there, a white school, a light blue and white school building will be very, very dirty, within this culture compared to the cream and then the brown color. So we need more information about why those colors. And if the decision is not cast in stone, as the PRO made us to believe this morning on Joy FM, I will be happy if we consider a color that hardly gets dirty, because we haven't demonstrated enough capacity to provide funding to paint schools in good time, so that our schools, do not look very dirty within a short time. White is very, very amenable to debt, and we all know that.
All right. Okay, Kofi, thanks for speaking with us. It's a running issue. I'm sure that we'll get back to it and discuss a lot more, especially focus on what ought to be our priority if we are talking about transforming basic education. I'm sure we'll have that conversation next week. Thanks a lot for your time. Right. So that was EduWatch also expressing their views on the issue. Yes.
So the announcement has been made about introducing new uniforms and painting primary school classroom.
Changing the color.
Yeah, changing the color. Now, many people will tell you that these are not priorities at this time. So the ministry would have to go ahead to talk about some of the other things that are more pressing in terms of raising the quality of primary education.
But as we speak currently, for basic education, the schools under trees tops 5,000.
Even beyond the schools under trees, the state of existing schools,
yes,
you know,
provision of textbooks,
furniture, even locks, door locks, computer facilities. These days, the way forward is digitalization. And so every primary school should be equipped with a computer lab, with Wi-Fi, broadband, and so on. So there are many priorities that will go directly to the quality. Uniforms may not be, of course. I mean, I've never seen any school which says they are doing well because of their uniforms. You know. But they do well because of the tools that they have. So the ministry, I'm sure this is part of a program, and the ministry will have to go beyond this one to tell the country about some of the other things that have been done to equip teachers and students, motivation, and so on. But as a standalone uniform and painting, you will find that many people may not see that as...
How issues about uniform and painting, changing uniform and changing painting, will find expression in transforming basic education at this time beats my imagination. When we can all see what the issues are.
So the ministry should go beyond that and let us know what the full program is. Transforming the... Leaving it alone like this might sound...
You wonder what is happening to officials in this Akufo-Addo-Bawumia government.
Why?
What they take us for, how they conceptualize
the minister says projects. It's part of many transformational initiatives.
So list the many and give us your order of priorities. You don't tell us that you are going to engage in changing of colors when we know the state of basic education. I have here today a number of Parliament's Education Committee reports. In 2017, when this government came to power, the Minister of Education met the Education Committee on the 22nd of March 2017 when they were considering the budget estimates for 2017. This government told the Education Committee that they have conducted an exercise on the state of basic schools in Ghana. And Doc, listen to this. They report at page 10 of this committee's report, which was adopted by the House, by plenary, that there are 8,252 basic schools in deplorable state and require rehabilitation. 8,252.
So this is minus the 5,000 under trees.
Yes, and this is minus the 5,000 school under trees, out of which the Professor Nana Genopoku and an era eliminated about 2,000. So you have another 8,252 of our basic schools in deplorable condition. The minister ought to be telling Ghanaians what has happened to this. I have checked all the Education Committee reports. I have copies here. They have not reported. They have not presented to Parliament progress report on how these 8,252 deplorable schools, only God knows how they look now after many years of having been abandoned. And we are all in Ghana. We see the state of our basic schools. Are they going to be painting schools under trees? Deplorable schools? How can this become a priority? Another procurement gig. That's all what is going on. The second term of the president is coming to an end. What can we dream of? Quickly go to procurement, because I've gone through even their projects submitted to Parliament for 2024. This does not feature. So where is this coming from?
But you know, this is not fair.
I'm not done.
Hold on. Randy, this is not fair. You're saying that the measures that have been announced are just a procurement gig.
Yes.
That's not fair. Procurement hasn't even started. Now, the more reason why it is not fair is that the things that you are proposing as priority, which I'm sure is also priority to the ministry, because Randy said that there's a lot of measures. But the things that you are professing, wouldn't they also involve procurement? It would also involve procurement. So what is this?
Doc,
do your points and stop the propaganda.
Come with me to look.
Do your points.
Look, we are outraged. Though. We are not going to take this. You people
but
this
that's why I should
because
cut the
you
propaganda.
have no respect for us. You think that you can just take our public funds and use it for just any useless idea that comes to the minds of
listen, let me
people. We are not going to accept
if you
it.
think
And you can't come to
useless,
Parliament.
Say so. But don't
you can't come to Parliament.
Whatever you say,
tell us
procurement.
Tell us about what you are going to do in the year 2024. And then you come up with entirely different things.
What different thing?
This painting and changing of uniforms.
So you disagree?
They should show us.
So you disagree it's a priority? You disagree?
I'm outraged by it.
But don't say that it's because of procurement.
That has
because
been
that
is the reputation of your government.
Samuel Kujeto. You can make your points.
Let me Nana stop there. Stop the interjection. I'm speaking to facts, to documents. Parliamentary documents.
That's mean procurement facts.
So the 8,252 deplorable schools, you should be telling us what you've done about it. That's what you should be telling us. What have you done to these 8,252?
But whatever
you came to Parliament and told us.
Let me tell you.
That after your assessment of basic education in Ghana, there are 8,252 schools in deplorable condition.
Transforming these 8,000 schools would involve procurement.
Yes.
So you can make your point without the propaganda. That's all.
Let me go on.
Doc,
yes.
I also hold in my hand the 2024 report of the Committee on Education on the 2024 annual budget estimates of the Ministry of Education. These are the observations of the committee. Paragraph 9.6, page 13. Delay in disbursement of capitation grants to basic schools. The committee observed delays in the disbursement of the capitation grant to various basic schools in the country. The committee noted that out of an amount of 22.5 million allocated for capitation grant in 2023, as of September, only 4.1 million has been released, representing 18.2%. 18.2%. This is the current state of our education. Capitation grant, only 18.2%. And you know why I went for these education committee reports? After Professor Nana Jenopoku-Agyemang's speech, they told their communicators to be talking about arrears that she left. And a good number of the communicators were kind to forward the speaking points to us. So you notice that all of them have been going all over the place talking about arrears. I thought that
we haven't spoken about arrears today, have we?
No, but all those who even came here yesterday, previously, they were all of them talking about Professor Nana Jenopoku-Agyemang arrears. They forgot to ask the people who sent them the speaking points, what is the current state? What are the current arrears? Capitation grant, you have paid only 18.2%. And you say you are going to be painting deplorable schools. That is not all. Come with me to page 12 of this report. Provision of basic school textbooks and payment of publishers. Again, this is the Education Committee's report. The committee observed that 9.5 million basic school textbooks and 273,075 teachers' guide have been supplied to basic schools in 2023, noting that about 6.5 million students in basic schools have full complement of these basic textbooks. While the committee commended the ministry for the distribution of the books and teaching materials, the committee drew attention to the fact that majority of schools have still not received the full complement of these basic books Majority of schools, Education Committee report, adopted by the House, majority of schools have not received their books and urge the ministry to address the indebtedness to publishers of the books. So in addition of majority of schools not receiving the textbooks, you owe publishers. The committee continues. The committee observed that the indebtedness to the publishers has crippled the operations of the publishers, as only 20% of monies owed them have been paid. Only 20%. That is the state of basic education. Publishers have not been paid. Majority of schools don't have textbooks. 2024 report. And you owe the publishers 80% of what they have supplied. I continue. Page 13, paragraph 9.5 of the report. Payment of utility bills of senior high schools. The committee observed complaints raised by management of public senior high schools about the delay in payments of utility bills by the ministry. As a result, many of the schools have suffered power cuts affecting teaching and learning in the schools. You can't even pay utilities. You say you are going to paint deplorable schools. What do you take us for? What at all do these people take us for? What crimes have we committed? I'm not done. Page 15 of the 2024 Education Committee report of Parliament. Outstanding examination fees. The committee observed that the ministry owes WAEC an amount of 129,839,220 Ghana cedis as outstanding examination fees for 2022, 2 years ago. 2022. According to the council, the debt has severely hampered the operations of the examination body.
Okay.
And this is your priority,
okay,
to go and be painting deplorable schools. And you say we shouldn't be angry, we shouldn't be outraged. What do they take us for?
Look, told you not to be outraged?
Look, free SHS, because of time.
Who has told him not to be outraged?
Doc,
yes,
free SHS, consistently. This is the 2023 Parliament Education Committee report. Consistently, the committee is observing releases to free SHS. Out of the 2.29 billion, only 1.3 billion has been released, representing 59.8% of the total amount. And you take all the Education Committee reports, which I've brought here. Free SHS is collapsing. That is why the quality of food is horrible. And we are totally
we need to do this,
causing mass
I think you're
more nutrition.
We need to do this before.
You know,
there's something we need to do. Yes.
I wanted to quickly respond to some of the things he said.
In 5 minutes.
Yes, very quickly.
There's something which is about
even that spellbound speech.
It's about our collective future. Nana could be exempted from it, but for you and I and millions of Ghanaians, it could be terrible. SNIT, pensions.
So, Doc, let me caution the Minister for Education that we will not support. We've discussed this as a caucus. We will not support this.
Okay.
And they should not go ahead in his own interest. They shouldn't.
Okay.
They should address these arrears in the sector. And those who were going around thinking they can beat Professor Nana J. on arrears, and even that, they are not factual. I will advise them to go and read the 2017 report of the Education Committee about how NAPO came to Parliament and provided the accurate record.
I'm sure there'll be time for that.
No. It's let me just. I'm using my 5 minutes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Using my 5 minutes.
Okay.
Page 4 of the 2017 Education Committee's report. The releases of capitation grant for all the terms 2015-2016 academic year to 5.6 million pupils is here. Confirmed. So that thing they are circulating, 2014, she didn't pay capitation grant. Meanwhile, as they are talking about arrears, they do not talk about the money that she negotiated and left behind.
Which money?
Millions of dollars in various accounts. Do you know that she negotiated for the funding for the EC University, what is called the University of Environment and Sustainable Development?
Okay.
President Mahama cut the sword in this. That was one of the last things he did after the election, before he handed over. 45 million euros. They don't talk about that.
Okay.
The Codvet account, she left $25 million in the Codvet account. Why are they silent on that? SIP, the Secondary Education Improvement Project, $156 million. She used only $83 million. More than $70 million left. And they got another $50 million because the World Bank said she had executed the project so well. They gave Ghana bonus, extra $50 million. Why are they not talking about that?
But how come all of this is there and then she didn't make any impact in the elections?
Look,
both 2016.
Talking about impact in elections, Doc.
2016, she wasn't on the ticket.
Doc.
No, her work.
Doc.
All this work is 2016.
Doc. Impact in elections.
Then you were in your elements, so
Doc.
people didn't listen to her.
Doc, impact to elections.
They actually said it's juju.
Let us speak.
That's why you were promising us things.
Let us speak to facts.
Yes.
Let us speak to facts,
right.
And let us speak to data.
Right.
If you look at the NDC's output in the 2020 elections,
yes.
The NDC overall halved. We came from almost a million vote deficit to about 500,000. That's significant in just one round of an election. If you look at what the John and Jane ticket achieved with the parliamentaries, it's never happened in the history of our country. If you look at the data, every ruling party going into a second term widens its parliamentary majority. Check. From 2004. Every party, once you are going into a second term, the parliamentary majority is widened. This is the first time that the John and Jane ticket made tremendous gains, and even as we speak, we have a hung parliament. Unprecedented. Take her home region. Nana Akumi was talking about the central region. She moved the presidential votes from 43% to 45%. 2 percentage points. Look at the parliamentary elections. From 4 seats to 13 seats. Just one election. I don't recall the last time there was such a major swoop of parliamentary seats. So again, the claim that she did not make an impact is not supported by the data. The empirical evidence is very, very clear. Let me finally say that I really like the way Nana Akumia is calling the bluff. And it clearly points to how the Akufo-Addo government, Nana Akumia's collaborators, how their mindset is. And that is why they have been plundering this country with impunity. Because they say, oh, what can they do? 2008, they said it, nothing happened. They forget that in 2009, Professor Mills said that, look, I'm father for all. Let's try and, let's
tell you that 2025 will not be 2009.
Yes. So you know what Professor Mills did? Professor Mills said, look, instead of really going after them in the court prosecution, let's retrieve the loot. Many people forget, and particularly the young ones, forget that what you see today at airport as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration had been shared amongst cabinet ministers.
Manos Nana Akumia.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't call Nana Akumia to the party, They
didn't join.
Massive land looting. Professor Mills retrieved all of them. We will not have the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration at Airport Residential, that land. They had shared it amongst themselves. So even though we didn't have prosecutions, because Professor Mills said, look, father for all, and that is why this agreement is so important. That's why many people are excited. Because Ghanaians are saying that we don't want you to come and do that 2009 father for all. We hope that you are not coming with that, oh, let's just see what we can retrieve quietly and let people go scot-free. That is why this announcement, the public declaration that this matter has been discussed, we are not going back to the Professor Mills father for all. We are going to go all out. And exact accountability is being so roundly received by everybody. And that's why I'm so excited. So Nana Akumia can continue thinking that we are in 2009.
No, thank you for your...
You continue.
I have not stolen any money. So if you want to prosecute people you believe have stolen money, I will support you. I'm saying that your record is bad. And if you want to prosecute people who stolen money, it's not now that you are going to sit in agreement. That's what we expect of you. any political party. Now, two things. I've said that electoral, Professor Opugwajima didn't bring much. Samuel Kujato is telling her that she brought constituencies all over the country. I don't know. I'm looking at her home region.
Yes.
Because you must be able to deliver your home region. That's my criteria.
And she did.
Her home region, she couldn't deliver the presidency to John Mahama.
She increased the vote.
That's one. Number two, this business about Professor Mills taking a decision not to prosecute is not true. You know it. So what happened when you stop international flights and haul people from the flight to face prosecution? Under Professor Mills. What happened when the Minister for Foreign Affairs was tried for 6 months over rice under Professor Mills? So it is not true. Coming to tell us that people were not prosecuted because Professor Mills didn't want to prosecute, apart from it being an indictment of Professor Mills, it's even not true. Your noise doesn't match your action. If you say you have turned a new leaf, tell us that, we've turned a new leaf.
That's what has been announced by Professor.
Now we have been told that what Jane Nana Pukwa is bringing to the table is that she's going to prosecute public officials. Fine. We take it.
Nana?
We are charmed by it.
Nana,
okay.
I'm sure Smith has taken you off you're on pension now.
I saw the
report.
The reports. Yeah. You know, there's this actuarial means for insurance forecasting.
Yes.
And I think it's the ILO.
International Labour Organization.
Yes. They do these studies every 3 years.
Yes.
And every time they do the study, their report is that the way we handle pension funds in this country is not going to be sustainable in the next 10 years, 15 years, and so on. And the basic thing they identify has largely been through government action.
Yes. As for this one, they say we'll get to zero.
Either governments over the period plunder SNIT funds, or government doesn't pay, or even if government pay, doesn't pay on time, and then they don't pay interest.
Yes. Penalty and interest.
So this governmental action over the period, if it continues, in terms of the investment profiling, the pension funds are going to run out.
It's about 2036, now, zero.
Now, on the SNIT board, you have government representatives, but more especially, you have labor representatives.
Yes.
And so, I mean, if a company like Metro TV, you are not up to your SNIT payments, they will come hard after you.
Right to us.
But how much do they owe you? But government, which is the bulk employer, over the years, we all read about how SNIT funds were plundered. Anytime government was in trouble, it went to SNIT funds. They go and take money for student loans, go and take money to borrow money to do roads, go and do all kinds of stuff. And then you also don't pay. Government alone has about 3 million people on SNIT that they should be paying. It doesn't pay. And if it continues...
Government owes 10 billion.
10 billion?
Billion. And also in interest and penalty payments, that's about 20 billion.
So SNIT should really use these reports and find a way.
I'm surprised Labour is quiet.
But that's
because if the thing suggests that by 2036 will be zero, that's in 12 years. In 12 years.
So,
because I've got look, let me just read this. This is one of our views. As a pensioner, my concern this morning is that the SNIT's pension scheme can't pay my benefits from 2036. Already, there are signs. 2 months ago, we were paid on the 21st and last month, 18th, down from 14th and 15th in the past. Workers have enjoyed pay increments between 20 and over 30%, but the highest pensioners enjoyed was a paltry 19% last year and 10% in the past. It's not surprising. Okay, so it goes on. It says, with this news, the scheme is in danger. especially the drive to register new people, most importantly, those in the informal sector?
Well, so they are seeking new funds. But the fundamental issue has been the government. Now, like I said, there are reps of labor on the Senate board. But beyond that, Parliament, maybe, I don't know which committee.
There is one which is employment.
Yes. That's Dr. Kwabena Donko's committee.
Yes.
But he's not a chairman.
He's the ranking.
He's the ranking. I think they should take advantage of this report and engage all the parties, government, labor, Senate, and find a way out. This report should be. And these reports have been coming every 3 years. And it's always the same, that it's not sustainable.
Right. Simon?
It's like almost like a Ponzi. You are paying people with new money. If the new monies are not coming, you can pay. And we've burdened Senate so much. There's loans, student loans, this and that. Government borrows money, we go and pay. All kinds of things without looking at the investment potential.
Right. Yes, sir.
Doc, this is a very worrying report. And we are all being deducted from our salaries with the hope that we will have comfortable retirements. Those of us who even manage to go the extra mile and put something aside in various government bonds as we speak, that is also not guaranteed. Thanks to the mismanagement of the economy, the Akufo-Addo government has done what they call compulsory financial haircuts, and they don't care. Even if you are bad like me, they will force you to take a haircut. And because of that, pensioners cannot even have access to their life savings. Pensioner bonds have been taken away. I don't know why they even call it a haircut. You know, it's virtually government stealing from the people, taking away the people's money. So that one has already been jeopardized. You can't have your fair earnings. And we've seen how pensioners have had to go picket at the Ministry of Finance. Very sad sights, heart-wrenching sights. Last time we saw the lady who has earned the enviable accolade of being the Yasanto of our time, former Chief Justice of Akufo, joining her colleagues. That is not the kind of retirement that you wish for our fathers and our mothers, that they can't even retire in peace and enjoy their life earnings. Now, the only one left is also in jeopardy. We are not guaranteed pensions. Doc, in addition to this report, I have also heard all the teacher unions say that their Tier 2 pensions have not been paid since June 2023. Can you believe that? So they actually gave government an ultimatum which ends today for government to pay their Tier 2 pensions. So, I mean, what is happening? Under Nana Akufo-Addo, no matter your age, you are not safe. If you are a baby, childhood vaccine, Bobo. The last time is the Nigerians who had to bail us out. If I didn't expose that, they would have been, as usual, trying to, deceive everybody. I don't know.
Would have been on the tracker.
Yeah, you'll have been. You'll have been on the tracker. The childhood vaccine you went to borrow, beg the Nigerians because our babies were dying.
Yes.
It's never happened in our history. We always took it for granted. Only under the Akufo-Addo government, even childhood vaccine. So if you're a baby, you are in trouble. If you're a young person, unemployment rate is at an all-time high, 14.7%. You graduate from school, 4 years, 5 years, you are still at home. You can't get jobs. Now you are old, you have struggled through all of this. That one too, you can't get your pension. SNET is collapsing. Tier 2, they won't pay. If you are smarter, you are in the middle class, you put some money aside. That one too, they've taken it. So what do we do? What do we do? It's just left with those in the grave. In the grave, they'll start going after them. I mean, why?
Well, you need a new. If you need a new person, Baumia is your man.
Oh, please.
All right, we need to go, but let me say a big happy birthday to you, Kukwa.
If you need a new person,
what crime did
Kukwa Kwanzaa of the Ebenezer Methodist Church, Lashibi Committee 20. Happy birthday to you, Kukwa Kwanzaa. This is from Sheila Odoe Dankwa. We wish you the very, very best, Kukwa Kwanzaa. Happy birthday to you. Gentlemen, thanks for joining me. Up next, GMG Trends.
Customer.
Nadabena minka me papa. Me twa 10 Ghana.
10 Ghana.
10 Ghana cedis.
No dia, send na obenya.
10 Ghana cedis no. Me dia. Me 54,000 Ghana cedis.
54,000.
540 million.
Yeah, the one na me twa me di ehun skasa.
Yeah. And then I kika ade tena we. Tena wa boki. Draw no na asase no eh. Mami nye volume no.
Customer. One of our daily lucky winners. Dial *946# to play now. Or you can also play online at www.gamepackgames.com. Game Park is regulated by the National Lottery Authority.
Vital has sachets and in different sizes too. You didn't know? These Vital sachets that we all use to fry our meat and fishes, to prepare our favorite meals, and to refill our empty original Vital bottles. Hey, are you sure you are a fellow Ghanaian?
Get your trusted Vital sachets today for affordability, convenience, and for the refilling of your original Vital bottle.
Vital, you deserve a life of goodness. This advert is FDA approved.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Time to check out what is trending on social media with Desi, the star boy.
Doc.
Yes.
Good morning. And good morning to our viewers.
Morning,
welcome to the trends. So this morning, of course, a lot of people are sharing their thoughts about the uniform and the repainting of the... Oh, Doc.
Black and white and blue and white.
Someone says... the schools are not only in Accra. The white is of school. Like next 2 weeks, we count the team. Anyway, let's check out what people are saying about that this morning on social media. I mean, since the news broke. So this one says that, okay, rebranding basic schools, not only just changing uniforms, not painting, but equipping schools and build new modern facilities to improve their standards. Would you send your child to, Kwabenya Basic School, government basic schools needs competition from private schools. That's from Jojo writing that on Twitter. This one says, I see them build standard basic school classroom in all towns, well equipped, that to be standardized, so it won't matter where a child schools or not. Get better teaching materials and remunerate teachers well. It's not in dress and new paintings that will see improvement. And that's his thought there. This one says that what's the essence of changing the uniforms whilst there are still so many schools on the trees? When will we get our priorities right as a country? Celebo writing that white for our primary school children. Hey, do you people think Ghana is only Accra? You see the kind of colors after 2 weeks won't be different from the color wheels or, well, the color of. This one says, interesting one. Being a teacher for over 20 years in Australia and the UK, I see this as long overdue. Ghana is credited for having the best secondary school uniforms in Africa. However, the basic school uniform is very depressing. Time to change to reflect secondary school standard. A minister with a vision. Okay, blue.
But do secondary schools have the same uniform?
No, I guess it's making reference to the, the variety.
No, it says people praise Ghana's secondary school uniforms. Do secondary schools have the same uniform?
No. So that's got a lot of people debating.
There's something they say. They say, yeah, they fata.
So this one know the fact. They know the here.
No, but if you ask what should be the priorities, there are over 8,000 schools in deplorable conditions, according to the ministry itself. There are over 5,000 schools under trees. Not all children have their textbooks, even when we've changed the curriculum.
Yeah.
I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Sir.
And so, I mean, for me, for the minister to even mention it, you see, when he say we have transformative policies, and then the two examples that you give are these ones, it gives the impression that they are the priority.
Okay.
I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you were to ask any Ghanaian, what will be the priorities when we are talking about transforming basic education? Changing the color of school buildings and color of uniform will be the last thing anybody will think about.
Yeah, true though. Anyway, we'll see how that pans out. Be painting the whole, so they will change the Kokunte and Benkwine to different color. That one too, like we they like anyway. So let's talk about Senate now, because that has also got a lot of young people on social media talking that, hey, because 2036 will be zero. That's according to the report from the International Labour Organization. And so a lot of people are not exactly happy about it. Let's read some of the tweets. Veronica Comey says, if the Senate story doesn't break your heart, then you're part of the mismanagement. Veronica Comey writing that. Joe Coates says, this government is like some kind of nemesis plaguing everything. Senate in previous administrations invested in massive infrastructure, but this administration has nothing to show for, yet reserves almost empty. Perry Tintin says, so our Senate for the past years and the ones our current companies are paying, how will they do them now? Make we go collect the entire agribusiness? Well, that's a question that I'm sure that a lot of us will be thinking about. This one says the Senate news is alarming. Technically, Ghanaians have no food to eat today and even in the future. It's wild. The damage this government has caused is immeasurable for Dr. Bawumia to have the guts to run for president. So those are some of the comments coming in from young people about this thing. So like
Labour sits on the Senate board. Labour ought to be talking.
Yeah, they need to be angry about this.
In fact, the workers ought to be holding their leaders this morning.
True.
They sit on the board of Senate.
Because from now till 2036...
The Labour should be speaking to this issue. Today.
And that's... I mean, today on Newsbeat, we'll be getting into the details of all of that and try to get some answers because, hey, maybe Yo, look.
10 billion. 10 billion.
10 billion.
That is how much government owes in state contributions that it has not paid.
10 billion.
10 billion. as for the penalties and the interest, I'm told that's about 20 billion.
Anyway, let's move on and talk about the president, because a video popped up on social media, a very short one, where he was getting to a gathering, greeting some chiefs, and how he was asking the chief to get up. A lot of people have issues with it, that it wasn't right. I mean, it's not exactly known where this was, but Tadama was there. Hey, Mr. President, Bocho, easy, and you cry. Like, sorry, the president is coming. The president is coming. Me, that was somewhere when someone said that. Remember, there was a video that came up when the president's daughter was receiving a phone call during the national anthem at a big program like that. That one, but anyway. So people are talking about this one, that the president no force. The president no do well. Look, you guys,
no comment.
No comment. But there's job for cheddar. Because now that he says he wants to take the sea, and take some to Kumasi, the people in the voter is in Keta. They said that they should come and take DS and take it. A woman, the woman in the video said that he should come for the one in Keta in the voter. They don't want the sea so that he can take it to Kumasi. So let's watch that video. When we come, I'll share an old picture of Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa. We're just talking about it off air and how it's making the trends this morning.
Chada, Sisia, you are Aboriginal. Aha, you can Google it and see. I have a friend of Aborigine, Awaketa. It's a beautiful beach resort. Baby, I'm Jina no Nanuya. No, she are yiri a punu. No, yiri hanina. Oh, some one ebubu. Oh, one ebubu. And I'm Moya no support. Na hanyi nebubu. Oh, baby, I'm Jina. A hanina. Na punu chihanina. A koya no. Ena, a biakawa. Ha, when I a friend who put there. When a friend who put there, we see no kaya. We see no kaya no. I said that upon it. And I wait here. I can't have a swimming pool. Among Colano and a friend who put there. Yeah, Nasha. I have a friend who had a lot. I don't see you by no. You're hanging now, all this place. Maybe I'm eating on now. Now you're pool. You see me hanging now. Oh, Puno. Oh, Puno. Oh. And each other. But Fapunuko, Kumasi, why? Now you're home toy kakra. The investment cannot consume. Why, Shada? Israel.
So, charge out. The shutdown.
Aborigine is a beautiful place. So the view and all that. I've stayed there a few times.
Okay. I think we just passed there one time when my friends were together.
I've stayed there a few times. In fact, I even know the owner.
Oh. Yeah. I really say it's only home to do it. China one out there, Bassel, which me there upon Aquay. Nintinia air how mono. Mr. Bersisa Fakokuma. So, over here, it's your all.
Oh my God!
Very interesting one there. One of Kukayo.
She's lucky. Kind of Riata is no longer in office. They've found a new tax.
What a moving tax. Anyway, let's show that picture of Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa. So he was telling me that this picture was in 2002.
Okay, so 22 years ago.
Yes, first year in university. Yeah, and got on to.
And who's the lady?
Lady, I don't ask her. I don't want any. I don't want.
But you have put somebody's picture there.
Look,
this is not just Honorable Ablakwa. You have put an innocent person's picture there. And what are they? Did you ask Honorable Ablakwa what they were reading on the phone?
This one, they give me your number.
Eh? So Honorable Ablakwa is mentioning the number.
No, or either he gave his phone to the lady And as a lady to
at this time, he was known as the Son of Man.
Son of Man.
So he had a column in the Legon, this thing. So he writes like a columnist. So, and his pen name was Son of Man.
Son of Man.
And at that time, he was a dawn preacher. You know, he was SU. He was SU president of vice president. Yeah. So he was a dawn preacher. He used the megaphone. He used to use the megaphone to go around at dawn to go and preach.
I remember that. The one he used to see was called Sorry, oh, sorry. Sorry, oh, sorry. Wada, sorry. Sorry, I don't know me as you. There may be. He wanted to convert to the lady.
I'm sure that he was inviting the lady to a prayer meeting.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Honorable. I have to ask you.
Ask him. I
was asking.
That's what a former headmaster told me. I went many years ago. I went to MC an event and he was seated there. And then he said, "Are you?" I said, "Yes." He started calling some of my mates. "Where is this one?" I said, "Are you the one I see on TV?" I said, "Yes." "My wife says it's you." I said, "It's not possible."
It's not possible.
I looked at me and said, "You're too
I said, it's not possible. Oh, yeah. That's.
I always say that some of the things that some of us did, if we were in this era, we will not be able to show our faces in public. We're just lucky.
Yeah.
So sometimes when we are
blasting people, we should take our time.
We just need to be careful and also try and help those people appreciate that in this era.
The pressure between.
That's why we will just take a paint and write. I was here song.
I was here song.
All those things. That time, Charlie, no phone, no cell phone.
Yeah.
No camera on phone.
Yeah.
Zero. You know. So a lot of things is just oral.
And no casa.
No recording.
No recording, nothing. All right, so Honorable, someone I told you this one I told you before I'm saying it to you. Someone wrote that his Honorable had hair.
22 years ago.
No, I'm not talking about you. No.
He had hair and sideburns.
Yeah, true though. Anyway, Doc.
God is good.
God is good. Hey, no, Doc. I have to throw Liverpool today. I forgot.
About what?
Doc, you lost to your Merseyside rivals.
So what?
2-0.
So what?
So you've lost the league.
So what?
So you've lost the league.
So what? So what?
Good morning, Phil John Corti. Good morning to Honorable Kojo Chubuafo. Good morning to Channel Manager Sky. Doc, you know we beat.
Are you okay?
Doc, we beat Everton 6-0. Chelsea beat Everton 6-0.
And I go see say.
And almost 2-0.
So your 6-0 took you where? Your 6-0, where did he take you to?
No, go there. It's okay.
Where did he take you to?
No, go there.
The 6-0, where did he take you to? Plus 6 minus 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
Up
next, Metro Sports.